Yeah. So I logged in with the dev ID only, that first one. So
Yes.
here that day when I demoed, it is a viewing and add employee. So this is the issue, right, Srimom? You are asking. I will show you why this is coming like this style. Everything is proper. Why this is not coming? So now let me demonstrate the edit part. See that day when I created a form, add employee form I created, and I cloned it. I just did a copy of that, and this is the form. Whenever I click on the edit, and this is the form it comes. Now whatever I have stored it, I want to save it. I want to save it, or first thing is like whenever I open this form, this data should be populated. Correct, right? So this data
Okay.
should be populated. So let me show you how to do that. It's very simple. Like in we created employee API that day. See, let me explain you first. See, whenever you create any pages, so that is completely a UI form, like UI elements, I can say. So it can be a grid element, table, text box, radio button, anything that is a UI element. Then there is a API. So whenever you want to read or write data to any data sources like MySQL, we need to create the APIs, and that we can call it from the pages. So
Yep.
that day I demonstrated getting all the employee and add employee. Now I want to display the use whenever user clicks on the edit employee. I want to display the current data, and user wants to save it if they want to save it. So then we needed two more API. One is like get employee by ID. So because I pass the employee ID and get the employee details, and then save employee. So here I again MySQL get, that's all. It's just a one step. My data SQL get, again here get employee by ID, and here also I go and create a data sources get employee by ID. That's all. I just create it. So here you can just populate the data sources. So I will just pick the employee, and here where condition, because get employee means I am doing by ID, because only for one record I need to display. It's not by get all. If you see get all employee, there is no where condition, but here I need a where condition because I want to filter out by employee ID. So here you can say I added a employee ID. So that's all. So I just created one get by ID. Save I will show you later. First I will show you the displaying. So in the edit form, see when a page is loaded, so like I said, in the view page itself, whenever I click on the edit button, because this is the data I am displaying, and there is a pipeline I wrote that day, there is a pop-up layout. First thing is like this grid, I need to read the employee ID, because employee ID I need to pass from the client side, right? From front end only I need to pass. So for that, you can read any of the JSON record, because this is a JSON data what
Alin
we added.
ang
Just one
pinaka
second.
nito 11. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Um, can you just repeat that again? Start from again, right from
Yeah.
beginning.
So we have the view form, right? In the view form, there is a edit button. See, whenever user clicks on the edit button, we can read the record from the pipeline. Like whenever I am clicking this edit button, I can read the JSON property. You can see get property value from object. And this is the record which holds. It automatically suggests. So this is nothing but here we have created a variables, right? So this has a variables we have initialized here. So by default platform creates it, but you can change the name as you need, but by default it adds it. So now whenever I want to click on the pop-up, first thing is like I want to read the employee ID. So because employee ID is already there in this UI, I can read the employee ID and I can set it. So this one I need to swap it down. Like first I need to read, and then I am loading the pop-up layout. So is this clear, Shrivam? Like this first thing is like I need to read the employee ID because this record as a object. So this one
Yes,
row,
I got
each
it.
row it will hold. So now you have to go to, one second. So here the pipeline name, right? See, this is one thing we want to resolve it. So here we gave the pipeline name as edit click. So that is overriding. One second, let me change it.
This is Shimam's form, right?
No, no, no. I think it should take unique name. So there is one mistake in our system. We will resolve that. So basically, we have to use a different name. There is a platform name also we are giving as a edit button click. So this one I just need to
Change it.
We change it employee name. So like this we can edit also, but that we will resolve it. So let me this which page employee view page. Let me you can delete and you can upload it again also. So we support that functionality. So here I'm just so you can say I just renamed it. So get property value from object. I'm just reading the employee ID. See this employee ID is nothing but the column name in your SQL because that is the JSON data you are returning, right? Whatever the property name in your JSON, same name you are giving. That's all. I'm just reading the property name. So now in the edit form, so so you can see there is a page load. So here you are refreshing the organization. Along with that, you want to call the get employee details also. So for that, you can just clone it one more step. And here you need to call the employee API and then get employee by ID. So I have not yet created the endpoint for that. So let me create a endpoint. So here I just created a pipeline. I just converted into endpoint. So here you can see it automatically suggest get employee by ID, and then I need to refresh the employee. So here body parameter you can pass. Now you can use this employee ID I'm passing, and this refresh employee I'm just saving it. In the refresh employee, see here you can see employee record. I can create a one variable called employee record. So this one, whenever API is called, this variable will hold the data. So now I can simply call that get this one because the from the back end it is returning as a array. So but we need only one record. So I'm just changing it to one record. Next, get property value from object. That's all. You can just read employee name and then employee name and then reload refresh component. You can use refresh component with the data. I can pick my employee name ID and then the data I can pass. So if I refresh this employee name, it should display. So button click has not populate assigned. Let me add it. So here here I'm just saving the click. So let me refresh. Okay. So here we are calling get all. So let me refresh organization, and that's fine. Yeah, so let me edit it. Yeah, can you see here? SADS, whatever it is. So if I close, refresh, and open SAD, let's say this is the one. Can you see here? SAD, it's populating. So let me give a proper name, then you will understand. Testing. So I just created one record called testing. So I refreshed it. So if I click on edit, can you see testing Raju? It is populating. Why? Because here in the pipeline, I have written refresh employee. There I am reading the value from my JSON and I am refreshing. Let's say I want a employee number also. So you just clone it. You just copy that. Instead of employee name, you can just change it to employee number, and employee number you are initializing. Again, refresh employee number. So I'll just clone it. So here in the ID, you can see it will auto suggest everything. Employee number I want. I can select the employee number and then employee number. So here what we are doing, I'm just reading the, see whatever I did for that button click, I'm reading from the record. Same way I made a call to the API, call API, and this data, it has the data. So here you can say I'm making a employee API get all, and I'm saving a record. And here in the refresh employee, again I'm reading the property First thing is because it's an array from backend, I'm returning as array, but I need a single record. I'm reading a value from my array with the index 0, and then I'm reading all the property value and I'm refreshing. So now if I save it and reload and just click on edit, you can see testing Raju for both I have written. So if I click on it, employee number, one second. I'm just changing the ID because it is using the same ID. So I'm just saving the ID. Can you see here now?
Okay,
DSF,
good, good.
DSF. I just changed the ID. So that also as a platform we are improving. Like whenever you create it, unique ID, we will only generate rather than you can edit anytime, but we want to make sure the ID is unique so that it will not clash. It is like because these are all the internal names it uses to refresh, right? See again, DOB, you can see this UI got broken because there is already an attribute DOB in this same UI. So if I go and change the DOB ID, let's say if I go and change it like this DOB ID, it will automatically resolve that issue also. Can you see now?
Gee,
Mom, you are getting this. So you just give a different name. See, this is like a meaningful name. See, you are building a page. You know what to do, what you are doing, and you give the name accordingly. Don't go with a system name because we generate text box ID one, text box ID two. But you give a proper naming convention so that it is easier. Like you are designing your page and give the name. That way, pipelines also it is very understandable. See what I am doing on a page load. I'm calling an employee API and I'm declaring a variable and refresh employee. So like that, a meaningful name you can give and you can do it that time. It is easier. This clear, Shrimam? Like same way you can do for other fields. You can read the property and then refresh, read, refresh, read, refresh.
Shimom, any questions? She's having
No,
a
all this for the unique ID, I understand. And
Yeah,
for uh, one more, I see that use put the request uh,
yeah, this
array,
one.
right?
Yeah, this one you are saying
For can
refresh.
be yeah get property value from object this one.
Yeah, see, let me
Array.
show you why I
This
used
one
array.
can put the
Yeah,
single.
see here. If you see this, can you see the network tab? See, I made a get employee by ID. See, get employee by ID. So can you
Yeah.
see the response? It is an array. I am returning an array response.
Okay. Yes.
If
No,
it
I
if you
asked
return
for the
only,
component
yeah,
component that you call for like employee, employee number, employee name. Can we make the single, as the cell call API?
yeah, that I will show you saving. See, now I did a get. So let's say now I have a button. Whenever I click on save, I want to update this, right? So let me show you that. This is clear. I'm reading a data and showing into the UI. So let's say you want for a mobile number or address. You want to display an address again. So because I have done, I just showed only employee name and employee number. So let's say you want to populate address. It is very simple. We have the refresh. You can just clone this and you can give address and you can populate address column as well. So yeah, I just did a clone address. See now I initialize address. So now if I refresh this, yeah. So again this also UI broken, right? Because this is a again address. I let me change the new ID address ID because I just did a clone right. So it was so that we will make sure we will resolve that uniqueness issue. So now I will. Can you see now address populated?
So basically, what you're saying is from this form, from the action, you will get all the details of this
Yeah.
record that you're
Yes.
showing. So each step, each field, you have to repopulate it so
Yeah.
that it captures it, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you will have the employee name. So you will repeat those steps over and over again.
Yeah. So just
So
I'm just reading. So bulk also we are supporting, but for now it is a single we have supported because each component is different, right? So future bulk also will support only the way is like you can read all the property once and then refresh all the components. So that
because
also we are
what
supporting.
see what we are used to is on when you click close this. So you're building this up on click. It will give you for that employee all the information, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So on this click, see what I am doing is, see this is a view form. I built one endpoint and one page. That is clear, right? So
correct.
now whenever I click on this, because this already has a data, if you see this, so this is the data we got it. Get all employees. See, you can see there are all the JSON attributes because you can see employee ID. Whenever I want to update a employee, I need a employee ID, right? So first thing during edit, when a user clicks on the edit form, first I need to populate the current data, right? So for that, I've written one more endpoint called get employee by ID. So this is the endpoint I've exposed. Get employee by ID. So
Okay,
there I'm reading the JSON. So if you see the click event, say I clicked it and there is a request went, you can say get employee by ID. Can you see this is the endpoint
yes.
it called? And here in the payload you can say I passed the employee ID. So that one return the data in a JSON format. This is a array format. It is not because it is a we are returning always array from the backend. So for that I am just declaring a variable here.
So can I ask you one? What are the
Yeah.
steps in the pipeline for to get the data? There'll be first is
So
call API.
call API, that is the one pipeline. Most of
Then
the scenario, you may need hardly 4 to 5 steps until you need some calculation and all. You can use other steps, but this is the steps you can remember. One is call API. That is anything you want to pass, read or pass the data. You want to read or send the data to the API. Call API is one window, and then in get value from array. Let's say if your response is not an array, let's say if it is an object, directly you can use get property value from object. But now I am returning as a array. So first record I am reading get value from array by index. I'm passing the index 0 record and then I'm
so zero
taking
means
as
the
a
first
object
record, correct?
first record. Yeah.
Okay, all
And
right.
then I'm reading all the properties. You can see employee record. So rather than doing these 3 times, you can there is a one more step also. We support a bulk.
Bulk.
So bulk also you can use, but since you are learning, right, I'm just training, that's all. We will make it easier more and more once the usage is comfortable. So that is the major goal. Like this is the step I like if you understand the steps, right? So okay, this is the step it is doing this, this is step it is doing this, and I just need to link. This is like a chain of link. I'm just calling steps one after the other, and then I'm refreshing because I want to refresh the UI. I'm reading the data and here you can see refresh component with the data. Whenever you click on that, it immediately it suggests it. So that way you can select it. Okay, I want to refresh employee name text box and with pass a value employee name that is read from this JSON. So that's all. So like that you can define it.
Okay. So does this
So
get
if for a CRUD operations, right, to build a end-to-end CRUD operations, I can say from API side, from yesterday till today, I demoed only 2 steps: get data of MySQL and CSV to date. That's all. Nothing else. I used hardly 2 steps. From the UI side, I demoed only 4 to 5 steps. What is the call API? That is the most important. Second one is open pop-up or a side panel. So whenever you are clicking on a button, so here if you see this add employee, I'm opening as a side drawer. So if I click on a edit, it is opening as a pop-up. So there are 2 steps for that. So if you see the view page, on add button click, I'm seeing a load right side drawer panel, and on edit button I'm just doing the get pop-up layout. So I'm bringing the page in a pop-up layout, that's all. And I want to set the employee ID. I'm just reading the employee ID from this JSON so that I can pass it to the edit page, and in the edit page I'm calling a get API. and then I'm binding the UI. I'm just populating the UI from the JSON data, whatever I read. That's all.
Okay, one more question now. How do you
Yeah.
save? Suppose you do
Yeah.
modify this. How do you save it?
Yeah. Now let me show you the save. So for that, in the API, first thing is I need to enable the save employee pipeline. So save employee. I just create a new. Okay, I already had. Sorry. So there is a save employee here. MySQL. You can just search update data MySQL. Can you say this is the step you want to use? Update employee, and again here MySQL edit update employee. You can do it, and now pick the data source table, your employee table, and here in the where condition, let me show you the name update first. So I can select the employee name, and to update, like I said, I we need by employee ID. I just pick the employee ID as a where condition, and the inputs, like you can select whatever data I want to update. Now I will show you the employee name update. So employee name. So employee name. So I just created one pipeline. You can see the hardly it is one step. I just created the endpoint for that. I just saved it. So now this is my edit form. I have a button, save button. So you can see there is a pipeline. So save employee click. So it's already save employee click. I have already written. So here in the save employee click, I will make a get employee call. That's all. Save employee. Can you say employee API save employee? So here you can pass all the data. So for now, I will pass only employee name to show. I'll just
Okay.
clear it. So
Will
employee
this?
name, and
I have a question. If you bring up
yeah.
a MySQL table, will it
uh,
automatically give you all the body parameters, or you have to keep on adding it?
No, no, we will bring it. That's what you can see. Generate from UI. We want to automate that. We have not yet enabled this. So when you click on this generate from UI, whatever the UI component you have added, this body parameter we want to auto generate. And later, if you want or remove, you can edit or
Yeah,
do
yeah,
whatever.
understand.
That like that we will automate it.
Because otherwise you keep on, you'll waste a
Yeah,
lot
keep
of
on. I
time.
agree. Yeah, that I agree. Clicking and also those things we will automate it.
So
So
basically,
now,
these are simple commands, right? Because
yeah, it's like
basically,
a commands. Yeah, exactly. It's like a steps are nothing but commands. I'm doing that's all. So, but automating the commands and all as a platform, you are keep on improving so that it is very easier because the label also sometimes it confuses. So we want to give the proper naming convention, proper suggestions, proper automation. So that way it is more and more easier. It will make the developer as a platform. We are keep on improving because yesterday when I demoed last week, this component itself was not there because you used to create another pipeline, add data to request, add data to request multiple times you used to do. Now within a single screen you can easily understand. Now I'm calling a employee API and method is save employee, and then I'm passing, these are all the data I'm passing. And once this API is success on success API, what I am doing, if any error, what I need to do, just that's all, everything it covers. And even this also we are removing where I am creating a pipeline and adding steps. Right here itself you are going to add, like you don't need to create more and more pipelines. Within a one pipeline you can do most of the operation we are supporting. And like you said, the auto generation also we are working. You can click on this, it will auto populate and you can edit or do whatever change you want.
yeah. Because
So now,
some of
yeah,
these automations that I've seen automatically gives you all the text
yeah,
fields,
exactly.
and if you want to search for something, it'll give you the search criteria, and it'll link the table to
Yeah,
what you.
exactly. Because that is the automation even we did right here. If you see the data modeling, you can pick your table, you can generate the UI, complete UI it will generate, and later you want to go and beautify it, you can beautify. So that is the advanced automation we supported. But at each screen also we want to support, like you said, suggestions and all. That is like, see, once you start using the Excel, right, you it will more and more suggestion also Excel gives, right? Same way you want to give more and more suggestions and automation, so that will help the developer to build the screens faster. So that we are doing it.
Okay.
Building a CRUD, entire CRUD end-to-end operation, you saw, right? It's hardly 4 or 5 steps. Just you want to know how to use the platform. That's all.
See, because basically most of the data is most of the programs that we use in databases is more of forms and submits and queries and
Yeah, exactly.
yes. So basically, if that can be automated, then we're going to save a lot of time, right? And then we can save on time by. There's another question. Okay, so that's the way you do it for saving the data, correct? So you'll make a button and then you'll save it, go through the process. It'll take the data from the
Yeah.
form and it'll pass it through the API to the database and then save it, correct? And if it's not
Yes.
successful, it'll show not successful for whatever
Yes.
reason. And if it's successful, it'll show that it's successful and it'll go to the next step, right, on your form, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
It is like a sequence of steps. That's all. Nothing much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a series of steps you are doing one after the other. One step, one command execution output. You can take it and pass it to the next command. So we call it as steps. That's all. Instead of command, we call it as a steps.
Okay.
So
Uh,
here
Go
I'm
ahead.
just editing. I populated and here I'm going to edit TTT. Can you see? I have just added and
Right.
here, or I'll give a new name, updated Raju something. So I'll just save
Save.
it. Can you see here, updated Raju?
Okay.
Because I am calling a pipeline on the
Okay.
button click. Save click. I'm calling a save employee and I'm passing the employee name. Let's say you want a employee address also. Let's say address also I want to save it. You can select the address. And now because in the API side, I am just updating only. See, this is the one benefit. See, now think like this. This is the advantage platform is offering. See, I have exposed a save employee, which is taking only employee name. So if some other wants to update only address field, we can build one API which does only address update. So that way security also we can control. Let's say admin wants to approve or edit any data, whereas some certain user wants to edit only certain fields. In that case, you can just create a one more pipeline, give only fields based on the roles. You can build multiple screens, user specific, role specific, so that way you don't have to build rebuild and all like how we used to do in traditional coding, right? You can just build, can just clone it and recreate more and more APIs and pages. That's all without coding. So here employee name I was passing, now I will select the address also. So now if I see the edit and now I will pass the address. Can you see here address updated? Let's say I will give a Bangalore. I'll just save it. Can you see here?
Yeah, correct.
So like this, if you see the complete from first day till today, whatever I demoed, so I have created a three pages view, edit, add for any functionality, and there is a API corresponding to that, which has a again add, edit, delete, view. So like this, it has each and everything as a single step. That's all. And in the UI side, call API, get property value from object. These are the two steps we need to use. That's all.
Okay. So now
Any doubts, Shimon? Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
okay. So that's being said. There's one more thing that you may have to show me quickly. Is we have existing databases, right? How do
Yeah.
we bring it into the? How do we bring it in?
Yeah, sure. So like in the secret I demoed, right? There is a secret. So here, can you give me the connection string? So this is the connection string for this database. So something called tender.
Yeah.
So which is the database you want to connect?
Shimam, can you give me a database? Maybe. Uh, what do you want to do? Let me just check. Okay. Neutral globe. I wouldn't remember the password. Shimam, can you give me the connection string from neutral globe? Or I can't hear you because you're.
So this one that in edit, I can take this one. I see that he edit in
He's going to bring a table in, so I need a database on neutral globe.
the moment he edit in Nutra Globe, like for here connection to
I need
connect.
I need an existing database. Bring it in through neutral globe. It's already existing on the server. Let me just look at it. Okay.
So here you can create, Nigel, like you can create a one more for your existing database. That is the connection name with connection string with this format. and immediately it will come here. So you can see, you can just
So
filter out your,
all the tables
yeah,
it
all
will
the table
count.
it will list. Yeah, it will list down.
Okay, so all the tables it will list, and then basically,
Then you can generate
yeah.
UI or whatever you want to build.
So
You
if
can
we have
build.
an existing database, all the tables we can list. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, just let me understand this correct, right? Because
yeah. If you can share me the connection string, I will show you immediately.
no,
So
I
give
don't
me a
remember.
connection.
I don't remember. So anyway, we will
I
test it
think
tomorrow.
Srimom understood us. Srimom, you are clear, right? You just add one more secret with a connection string to a database which is already having a table. That's all. You like how
Yeah,
you create a new one, same way you have to create a.
yeah.
And
So what will
if you go to
happen?
the data modeling, it will come, it will list down all the tables.
Yeah. So you can connect to what is the secret? Connect to domain one, connect to some other domain, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
Then
the
you can
secret
create n number of domains.
domains. So you'll basically, when you bring that up, it'll show you all the tables that are listed underneath that domain, correct? That's secret,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
understood. And then you can create database. We were having a problem yesterday by creating a database. So we couldn't create a database. I
Yeah, I
think,
resolved it. I resolved that. Can I show you know? Like
yeah,
let's say user DB user table.
because even
And yeah,
I spent
the
two
name.
hours 2 hours yesterday, and yesterday in the morning 2 hours, and then I got stuck because basically it doesn't
Yeah, there
save.
was a bug. I resolved it. You can say basically
Okay.
it was not taking these columns what we are passing. Only the
Yes,
default columns it
we
was
could do
taking.
it. We could do it
Yeah,
after the table was created. We could do
yeah,
it.
yes, yeah. Like add, I added.
Okay.
So user table. If you edit and see, can you see name and
Yeah.
login ID? I just created.
The reason why I'm asking you this is what we want to do is we want to customize certain things for. So we have a SaaS with a database.
Okay.
So we keep the database separate. And if we were to customize certain things for a client, then basically what we could do is call up the data and then do whatever the outputs that he
Yes.
requires. Okay,
Yes. Exactly.
that's so we can do it outside the SaaS model. And
Yes, let's say the SaaS system has already exposes the API. You can call the API. You can do any data manipulation, data calculation, and store it into another database or any other storage. So anything, these such workflows you can build within 10 minutes, like I'm saying, right? Say once a platform is comfortable, right? You can build. See, entire CRUD I can do it in 5 minutes because I am completely know the platform. So like that, once the developer start using this, all these scenarios, whatever the POC you present, right, those are all hardly max to max 30 minutes, the entire end to end we can build.
yeah, okay, okay, understood. So that basically outside the SaaS thing is we could provide certain customization that the client wants,
Yes,
correct? Okay,
yes.
understood. So anyway, what I suggest is, I mean, I've taken too much of your time. So what I'll do is we let us do all this, create.
So I was discussing with Streamom also, right, in chat window. So what we are doing, so we have the weekend, right? So that two POC, whatever you shared, we will explain step by step with a video recording and we will share with you. So your
Okay,
team can watch and recreate it.
yeah, yeah,
Because everything I cover, add, edit, delete, and you add some reports, right? Show me the next birthday, upcoming birthday, whatever. So everything end to end we will do it. And then one more video where our UX team explains how to beautify it, so that we will share with you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
from
perfect.
next week you can try out those videos, and still if you have any doubt you can reach us. So post that we can plan the next action item. Vision can connect more.
Okay, sure, sure, sure. So let's you do that. Then basically we have understood this process. So at least right now we can connect a database. We can connect an existing database. We can create a database. We can do all these type of things, and then basically have tables. We can have fields in the tables. Then basically create uh, create forms and interaction. And then the next step would be probably calculations and things like that. Correct?
Yeah.
And display and all that kind of things, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Any questions, Sandeep? Any questions, Kushal?
No, I'm clear about the edit flow also.
Okay.
It's straightforward.
It's straightforward. So also tell me based on what we are doing right now, Kushal. After you play with this, what are the advantages and what would be the disadvantages or the merits and demerits of both of doing it by yourself by hard coding and using this system, so that we get an idea. Are we saving time or are we doing something? Is it going to be productive? Is it going to be fast for us? That type of thing. So give me your honest comments, and then we'll take it from there. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Anything, Sandeep?
No, nothing from my end. I
Uh,
have still not explored it that much as Kushal or Shivangi has done,
yeah.
but I'll do over the weekend
I
and then
think
we'll see.
Shimom also has explored it quite a bit, and she's going to move
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, she was
Uh,
continuously over.
yeah, because by this weekend probably she'll know how to add forms, all these type of things, because she's quite keen on learning this. Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. So I'll leave you
Any
all.
improvements, team, please feel free to share. Okay, so we are there to improve more and more productivity so that we will
No.
improve the
Shimon will give you
platform.
a lot
So
of honest
yeah,
feedback because she's very
yeah.
blunt. She doesn't care who you are. Okay, she'll tell you off. If she doesn't like something, she's going to tell you she doesn't like something. Right? But that's what you want, right? You want honesty, and you want because that will help all our causes, right? We don't have
Yes.
to we don't have to sugarcoat things, right?
No,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay then. So I'm going to leave you all. So we'll connect on Monday. You'll say share some videos with us.
Yeah.
So we share. So we can work on this on Monday also. We'll work on this on the weekend, and we'll give you feedback on Monday if you have the same session, or Tuesday, or whichever day after we play around with things like this. All right.
Yes, sure.
Sure.
Sure. Thanks, everyone. So have a great weekend.